Welcome back to Joynews Prime. Now, former President John Dramani Mahama has suspended his tour of some voter registration centers in the Greater Accra region. His decision to hold the activity hinges on what he believes are concerns over the adherence to safety protocols regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in areas such as the practice of hand hygiene and the wearing of face masks. The flag bearer of the NDC, in a Facebook post, explained that the low level of sensitization at some of the centers in Accra and Tema makes it unfavorable for his team to continue with the exercise for the time being. Mr. Mahama further encouraged authorities to accelerate the education of the public on the novel coronavirus to help contain the spread and ensure the success of the registration process. We'll be speaking to the spokesperson for the Mahama 2020 campaign team, James Boateng. But first, take a look at a video circulating on social media in which the former president is seen making his way through an excited mob. James Boateng is a spokesperson for the Mahama 2020 campaign. He joins us via Zoom. James, good to have you. First, kindly tell us where this happened. I understand one of the areas was the Richard Akwe Memorial School. Which other places did this happen?
Thank you, Aisha, and good evening to your viewers. Yesterday, when His Excellency, the former president, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, decided to go on an unannounced visit to inspect the ongoing voter registration exercise, he went to the Ododo Diodio constituency, where he visited Richard Akwe Memorial School Center. He went on to Akamaji Manche Way Center, Sempe Manche Center, and Bese Manche Center, all in the Ododo Diodio constituency.
I believe the team did not anticipate this.
Well, it's not the first time that Mr. Mahama is visiting a voter registration center in this ongoing voter registration exercise. He's been to some centers in the voter region. They were incident-free. I mean, as in the crowd did not surge. It wasn't a milling crowd, and there was adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. So it allowed him to be there and go to a few more centers. What he saw yesterday, when the crowd surged forward and when they found out or saw that he was in the constituency, the atmosphere was euphoric. Many people stormed these centers, and he did not consider it prudent to continue to be there because he saw that many people were putting themselves and the lives of others who were there at risk. And it was important that, given that he had committed substantially to engaging the public on awareness creation on COVID-19 prevention, how to stop the spread, he needed to cut short his visit. So he did, and took to social media to announce that he thought awareness is low on the COVID-19 protocols and adherence, and therefore he had to cut short his unannounced visit to these places.
Now, your flag bearer also on July 11 toured some of the centers in parts of the Volta region. Did you also face this challenge?
I didn't quite get the question.
I'm saying that John Mahama toured some areas in the Volta region on July 11. I mean, how did that go?
That was planned, so there were substantial arrangements made, and therefore everything was completely under control. It was incident-free. You would recall that was also in the wake of the heavy military deployment in the Volta region, or parts of the Volta and Oti regions. And Mr. Mahama had to go there and calm nerves and also speak to opinion leaders. He met with chiefs. He took the opportunity to also go to quite a number of the registration centers. Yesterday, he decided to, as part of his continuous monitoring of these exercises, to go and see things for himself in the Ododo-Diodio constituency. I mean, Ododo-Diodio is not the Volta region. It's not Ketu, where he went. So he decided to see things for himself. That's why he kept it on really on the low profile. But when he got there, looked like the crowd got too excited, got too tagged, and therefore he had to leave. But principally because his observation was that many of the people generally were not wearing their mask and they are not social distancing. Clearly, if he's talking about a milling crowd, then they are not wearing they are not social distancing, they are not physical distancing. And so he thought that it was important he left the scene so that the people would not continue to put themselves in danger. It's not so much about Mr. Mahama himself, but rather it's about the ordinary people who converged and who were so excited to see him. And he was excited to see them too, but he thought that he needed to...
The protocols needed to be observed.
Precisely the point. And therefore, he saw that getting himself out of the place was going to calm them and take the excitement out so that the milling activity that was ongoing will be reduced. Because after all, what do they say? They say it is when people move. At this point, you don't want a lot of people mixing up and mingling and shouting and cheering. I've seen a bit of that video on social media today, and it was precisely what Mr. Mahama saw, and he saw that given all the attention that he's giving to promoting the COVID-19 risk reduction.
The things were not palatable. Stay on for me, James, because the Electoral Commission has described the reason for the former president's decision as unfortunate. EC boss Jean Mensah says her outfit has put in place stringent measures to ensure people observe the COVID-19 protocols. She indicates it is incumbent on all the stakeholders to ensure people adhere to those protocols.
It's unfortunate that our former president, in his tour or during his tour, experienced the adherence to poor adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. As a commission, and just reiterating what Mr. Tete has mentioned this morning, we have put in place stringent COVID-19 protocols across the country. And if you go everywhere else across the country, in most parts, these protocols are being adhered to the letter. Of course, in the beginning, we did experience some rush to the registration centers, making it difficult for the officers there, the security, to ensure the social distancing protocols. But with the COVID-19 protocols, the thermometer, checking of the temperatures, ensuring that persons are wearing masks, providing water and sanitizers for registrants at the centers. This is something that the Commission has done. There's been extensive training on it. There's public education going on radio and TV nationwide in all local dialects. And again, this is not just the responsibility of the Commission. The Commission has put in place these protocols. It is the responsibility of all of us to ensure that this is done. And we are pleased to note that several organizations are working with us, the churches and so on, to ensure adherence to these protocols and to support these protocols. So it is a responsibility of all of us, because the EC has put in place these protocols. Granted, you will find one or two places where staff may not be adhering to the protocols to the letter. But I believe in many places, across the country, and I can confidently say that in some 98% of the registration centers nationwide, these protocols are being adhered to.
James, your quick reaction to the EC's response?
I think it's important to say that at the personal level, Mr. Mahama has done more about COVID-19 awareness creation and how to stop the spread, perhaps than the EC chair herself has done. At the institutional level, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, has done more about how to stop the spread of COVID-19 than the whole of the Electoral Commission and perhaps the government itself has done. In every nook and cranny, in every constituency, lorry stations, market centers, police stations, health facilities, and DC MPs and parliamentary candidates have made donations to support the COVID prevention and awareness creation. You know, so, but indeed, I think that when you listen to the EC chair, she's overshot the runway. I don't know what exactly she's trying to explain, and I do not know. I mean, and this is a matter that is of public record. You can go to former President John Dramani Mahama's Facebook wall or his Twitter handle. The message he posted after there did not been edited or deleted. They've not been tagged in any way. He at no point put the blame on the Electoral Commission. I do not know why the EC is hugging this problem and trying to own this problem.
So at what point will the former president or your flag bearer consider it okay to go back to tour some of the areas where the exercise is ongoing?
Well, at any point where Mr. Mahama feels that maybe subsequently where substantial arrangements have been made, or maybe in places where it is obvious that there won't be large crowd likely to see him in those locations and surge forward in a milling way that will affect their activities on the ground. I think that will be at that point. Because yesterday, when he went and when he saw the crowd surge forward, when he saw the excitement, the cheering, and all of that, he took it upon himself to leave the place quietly and peacefully so he doesn't disturb the activity that was ongoing. And then he also took to social media to explain that he attempted doing an unannounced visit to some of these centers, but the fact that there was a milling crowd, people not wearing their nose masks, people were not physical or social distancing, and that caused him to call it.
I'm grateful for your time.
To end the visit.
I'm grateful that you joined us. James Ejenim Boateng is spokesperson for the Mahama 2020 campaign team.